What's up guys, it's O2, and today we have Zag's Spike Brothers deck profile. So this is the deck that I played against last week with my Overlord the End deck. And yeah, so here's the deck that he used. Oh yeah, this is also the deck that he went to Team Nationals with in California. So it's a legit deck. He's been playing it like forever. So as long as I've known Zach, he's been playing this deck.
Yep, tried and tested. So what's up Vanguard people? This is Zag here. And this is, like Danny said, or O2 said, the deck profile. So first is the starter, Mecha Trainer. He's your Conroe. He's really clutch for Spike Brothers because he sets up your columns instantly. So for your ideal grade 2 ride, it lets you hit 15k, and for an Emperor, it lets you hit 21. So that's the starter. The first grade 3 is, of course, the boss unit, Dudley Emperor. This card's broke. It's probably the best 10k Vanguard out there, I think. The only reason this card is still competitive is because his ability is so good, it nets you such an advantage that you can kind of negate the fact that he's only a 10k Vanguard. And for those of you who don't know, it's Limit Break 4, Counterblast 2, and put 2 cards from your hand into the soul. Search your deck for 2 Spike Brothers, any 2 Spike Brothers, and put them on the open rearguard circle. So this allows you to perform a lot of tech options with the deck. So the next grade 3 is the only other grade 3, which is Juggernaut Maximum. He's one of your tech options with Dudley Emperor. He's got the Spike Brothers skill, which is Soul Blast 1 and give plus 5,000 to a unit. So this makes it so with a 7k booster, he's capable of hitting 23 by himself. That's an excellent cross-ride number. And with the trigger, it's 28. That's kind of ridiculous. So that's the grade 3. Oh, and I guess the running joke is that this card's actually my boss unit. Because I end up riding this card about 75–80% of the time. So it's kind of a Juggernaut Maximum deck as opposed to a Dudley Emperor deck.
Playing him not by choice, of course.
Of course, but I still win with him.
11k defense.
Yep. So next is grade 2s, is my ideal ride for grade 2, which is Field Driller. This is the card that I said with Mecha Trainer you can set up your ideal 15k grade 2 column. And what's nice about this card is, as a Spike Brother, he can let you draw a card. And that one extra card will oftentimes mean the game for you. Because if your opponent decides to do 1 to pass, so let's say they have a 10k Vanguard, you attack for 15, and they give you 1 to pass with a 10k shield, you get the trigger, you break their shield, you give them 1 damage, and you draw a card. That's just a ridiculous amount of advantage that your opponent's probably no longer able to overcome. But the kicker to his ability is you kind of have to commit to the field early. But for the aggressive playstyles that Spike Brother enjoys, it's no real hard minus by doing so. And the second grade 2 is Bracky. So he enjoys the same Spike Brother mechanic that Juggernaut Maximum has, allowing you to give plus 5,000 for Soul Blast 1. So he's a backup Juggernaut if you've somehow managed to find yourself with no Maximums left in the deck for your Emperor Limit Break. And the last grade 2 is actually probably one of the cards you use first with Emperor, is Panzer Gale. He's the 10k Interceptor for Spike Brothers. So ideally, you're going to be able to Limit Break twice because of this guy. So first Limit Break, you're going to throw out your 2 units, and those guys bounce back to the deck, and then you call out these 2 units with Dudley Emperor's skill. If you have your column set up correctly, they hit for 15 or 16, but the kicker is, this gives you 2 cards from your hand that now turn into 10k shields each. And ideally, you've just thrown 2 Dudley Emperors into the soul, so you've turned no shield into 20k shield. That's an amazing plus. And the other part of this is you don't have to use any cards from your hand this turn, because you've got 20k shield without having to throw any cards away. So next turn you kind of guarantee yourself to be able to Emperor Limit Break 1 more time. Now for the grade 1s, we have 4 Medical Manager. This guy's the flex spot. I've seen most people, I think, run 3. I like 4 because I'm very aggressive with the soul, and this is the card that I want to ride on grade 1. Just because the more soul I have, the better. The times that I see that I'm only going to have Juggernaut Maximum in the deck are usually the games that I end up searching for Medical Manager with Mecha Trainer. So that extra soul and being aggressive enough early will net me wins. The next grade 1 is Wonder Boy. I've heard him called Wonder Bread. He's just 8K. He's great for hitting numbers. I mean, you need him for a field driller, and for everything else, he just hits great numbers. So, I mean, you have the 7K grade 1, which is next. So, with him and Wonder Boy, it allows you to hit you 15, 20 with its ability, which it also enjoys the Spike Brother mechanic, which is Soul Blast plus 5,000. So, he's 12 by himself, or 15 with the Wonder Boy boost.
Or 20 with the skill.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
It's really good. Plus, he's a booster, so it allows you to hang out as a booster for either the Panzer Gales that turn before, and if you don't have any other taggers, you push these guys up, play whatever boosters that your hand allows, and you can still swing for heavy numbers. And the last grade 1 are Perfect Guards. Aggressive decks get away with running 3 Perfect Guards very easily. Most times you end up playing these kinds of cards as either boosters or as soul fodder for Dudley Emperor. So it's no real pressure for me to increase this number to 4 just yet. Now for triggers. Spike Brothers really only has one set of triggers they're allowed to use. And that's really 8 crit. So 4 of this. 4 of this crit. This crit's actually the key trigger in the deck. So when guarding, you keep this card in your hand, because your opponent thinks he's doing a good job of keeping you at 1 unflipped damage. But if you have this card hanging around in your hand, you automatically just unflip 1 more damage and limit break once more. So it takes a lot of people by surprise who aren't very familiar with the deck. We have 4 heals and 4 draws. I actually like draw triggers a lot. Since it's a 5K shield, you're not really hard-pressed to commit with these cards early. And a favorite column of mine is actually a draw trigger with a Reckless Express, swinging for 12. In the turns that I feel that I'm going to need to put some extra pressure, I just switch the column. And this is a 17K column with Reckless's skill. So that's the Spike Brothers profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Alright, thanks Zag. So stay tuned for next Friday's Friday night card fight, where you'll get to see this deck in action again against a brand new deck.